So I do want to talk about NWA 312 a little bit, but
Whatever
uh,
you want.
just this popped up into my feed recently. Some people might paint you as a villain, but you were a hero to your Aunt D not too long ago. She posted
Yeah.
uh, something about coming to the rescue with a knee brace or something like that. Can you tell me about what happened there?
Well, yeah. I mean, Auntie, family is family, and I know times have changed how we've all interacted, and sometimes you lose sight of what's important. That being family, and my sweet, dear, loving, caring, kind, gracious, amazing, smart, successful, loving Aunt Dixie Carter. My family, my blood, my kin. Uh, Hurt her knee on her high school field trip in Orlando. So she was looking for a doctor we use in Orlando, who's a doctor I should have been hitting up because I've been having issues with like a neck thing and a pec thing that's not like surgical. So like, yeah, that's a good idea. But I connected her with the doctor. The doctor therefore connected, I believe Brooke Hogan's involved somehow, but like Spud was involved. So we found the doctor. We got a hold of the doctor. The doctor got the knee brace of somebody that delivered it to my sweet, sweet little cousin, and her high school trip was saved. So, I mean, life's good.
You're a hero. And you
I
just mentioned Spud in there.
drink.
Do people still hit you with that question like, "Oh, are you guys really friends?"
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, like I bet you're thrilled to hear it all the time.
yeah. I mean, but yeah, we are. No, it's actually considering that we truly are and will always be. Yes, like it's one of the questions I don't hate to hear with
Okay.
consistency. But like, bless his little leprechaun heart. Yeah, if I would like one of the pictures I pulled up for St. Patrick's Day was him in a dumbass leprechaun outfit with the green tie and things like that. What I'm curious is who paints me as a villain. I am nothing but a hero.
It was on the internet, so
Oh,
I
really?
thought it was true because it's on the internet.
Well, the knee-based story is true, but me being a villain on the internet, I mean, I don't know what I've ever done nor said to anybody that can classify me in the status of a villain, especially considering I was right about everything that you think I said, which I didn't even say. So
Uh,
go ahead.
I, I'm I've seen stuff that you did say straight from the horse's mouth, so I can take your word for it. As for whatever you're referring to,
I don't know what, yeah, what
I
did I say?
I don't click. I don't
No need, because it's
know.
all banter and lies.
Yeah.
You can tell by the way a website's built if you're reading real information or complete horseshit. Like, your website is, finally produced and has, links that are effective, and it's well put together. It's designed and eye appealing, whereas opposed to a majority of these things are haphazard, cut and paste. I believe we used to use Angel Fighter and GeoCities for similar things, but no, man, I
Ew.
have nothing to lie. I have nothing to hide about. I only speak the truth that I know of and that I've lived. So
I'm gonna get a cheap plug in here. We just got a brand new website that just went live about 2 weeks ago. It's nice and spiffy. So, all right. So while I have you here, I'll ask you directly. Say something controversial that won't get twisted.
nothing I say is controversial if it's based in truth. Well, I say something controversial.
Like pineapple belongs on pizza or something.
Ew.
I'm
I'm
not looking for backstage dirt. I want like
actually,
real life stuff, like
yeah.
every day to day mundane stuff that,
Oh, I mean, I
I
don't
mean,
know if
unless you have a good backstage story, but whatever.
I think if you got me going, I could probably like one would accidentally slip out because I have no filter and don't care. But off the top of my head, it would be hard to reference one. Pineapple on pizza. Now that I think, I mean, maybe there's something to the citrus with the marinara. I shouldn't say ew until I've tried it, so I take that back. Don't make judgments on things you don't know. Controversial opinions. Wrestling. We're coming off 316 day. I think WrestleMania 19 Stone Cold versus The Rock is better than WrestleMania 15 and 17.
I'll
Is
agree.
it controversial?
All right. No, you know what? I agree with you. So I don't think so. At least from the perspective of the way that the story at 19 was built, like I thought Rock, or Austin teasing Rock, like, yeah, you can't beat me. You can't beat me. I thought it was a great angle to go with. But I always thought 17 was overproduced. Like I really enjoy 18 and 19 as a whole more than 17, even though
Yeah.
a lot of people will say 17 is like the best.
I was I'm doing, passing on my foresight knowledge to a next generation. I'm doing some work with OVW and Al Snow, one particular young talent, Cal Hero, the fanny pack kid. Before I left him bloody, beaten, and destroyed last week, I was talking about wrestling, and well, I'm like, what's your favorite match of all time? He's naming off like old school matches where I'm like, all right, this kid's gonna get it. He's gonna be good. But then he asked me, and I'm like, dude, it's WrestleMania 17, Type A 1 versus Type A, 1B. Like The Rock versus Stone Cold at the highlights. So like we watched it. I sat down. It was a Friday night. We pulled up the chairs, got a little popcorn. I don't eat the carbs, but whatever. And we're watching it. And I agree now. I'm like, this is a little overproduced. What made me so attracted to the match in the past was just the intensity and them working together, but trying so hard to show that, no, I'm the better one. Nope, I'm the top. Nope. And like you could see that competitive edge at the same time where two professionals are working in sync and creating magic. But then I'm like, man, it's hard for me to say my favorite match of all time is also one that has such a bad finish, and the finish isn't great. The chair stuff's great, but the whole, heel turn and things like that. So I had to reevaluate that. And then I watched 19. I'm like, all right, yeah, this might actually even be better. And then that brought me down this other rabbit hole. The greatest wrestling character in the history of professional wrestling had a very short run, but it was Hollywood Rock. The best character, like what do you have? 3-4 months? But God, were they good. They were so.
I'm trying to think. Was he at that WrestleMania or was it Backlash? I always get confused, but I know that because he had that version of the theme song too, where it wasn't "If You Smell," it was like, yeah,
you smell. No, Backlash then turned out to be Goldberg, where
that's
that was
right
for a while. So he goes, he finally gets a big win over Austin, and immediately passes the torch to Bill. So good name though, Bill.
I like it. All right, I guess we should talk a little bit more about what you're doing with NWA, NWA 312 coming up on April 7th. You're going to challenge Scion for the NWA National Heavyweight Championship. I still think this dynamic with you and the NWA is interesting because when we've talked in the past, at least from the perspective of, being in the narrative, the essential, this whole, I'm going to say character for, what it is, but you weren't into going back and looking in the past. You aren't a fan of nostalgia, but the NWA has plenty of it. So does this title. I mean, you look at the match, Austin Idol, he was the first ever champ. He's going to be at ringside. So thoughts on what I just said, thoughts on the match in general?
Yeah, like the constant evolution of character in your reality and personas all tie in, like the essential character through the gloomy, dark times where, of the prime of my career, my dream job was taking me due to a pandemic. And like years, like if you think about it, for any of us as talent, years of our like prime years were kind of taken from us to like relegated to empty arena wrestling and like lack of travel and lack of opportunities to, in theory, make more money because the more we work, the more money we make. Like I was just having a thought about that today where and that was suitable for what the essential character was and what I was trying to control with create with Control Your Narrative, which was never to be a promotion, but more so an idea and a mindset, perhaps even a faction, which is kind of where it's going because it's never supposed to be a promotion. That was just what came about with all the other added twists and turns and people jumping in and making it beyond what it was. But taking that back, scaling it back, NWA, Nostalgia Wrestling Alliance, through the great history of the past, I think we can together build a future. It's kind of what I'm doing as I not segue because I'm still in my prime. Look at me, I'm the most jack guy in wrestling. But as I move on towards passing on knowledge and things like that, where I'm trying to like I talked about writing a book, it's a guide for wrestling from the ways I see it, like what was old worked for these reasons, what built a foundation. It's like the same thing with civilization. What built the foundations work for these reasons, but where we're going, we can still do the things we want to do, the evolutions we want to take, if we just do them with integrity towards the past. So the nostalgia itself, I don't enjoy the fact we constantly have to live in it and we constantly revisit it, whether it's a promotion, whether it's fans. Like, I mean, there's fans still dream booking Sting versus Undertaker. Dude, it's never going to happen. Like, but like, who's the next Sting and who's the next Undertaker? There aren't any, because we've only relegated ourselves to thinking about what's worked in the past, as opposed to being open-minded with what is coming in the future. And I think as talents, we have done the same thing, where we've relegated ourselves to, we'll never be these guys, but we'll be all right. And like the lack of drive to topple those great legacies and those great names by creating ourselves. That's what's lacking. Did all that make sense? Because it sounded like a lot of words. Turn it back around. NWA 31247. Scion is the NWA national champion. Titles, accolades. I have visions. I have goals. They mean a lot. You get more money. You make more money. The more you win. Resumes built, pride, respect, all that, yes. But I look at the NWA national title, winning it. That's a stepping stone, because my vision, my goal, and my whole demeanor is based on one number. The number's 3. And I'm currently sitting at 2 World Heavyweight Championships under my belt. And I think a final caveat would be the NWA World's Heavyweight Championship. So to get there, I have to go through Scion. I have to go through Austin Idol. I have to go through the past to get what I want and take it to the future. Boom. Promo. Sold. See you there.
I'm sold. You have a timeline for the book?
I'd like to have it done by the end of the weekend. As far as what I'm going to do with it, I don't know, because I've realized what became like a kind of a helpful guide has turned into a full tilt, like training manual book, where it's designed for the young aspiring wrestlers. You know, fans may find the way. I don't even want to really want them to see it at this point, because I feel like you need to be within the industry to truly understand. So how can I relegate that? It's not a monetary thing. It might go along with creating a complex to train people in too. So I would like to see all of that taking place by mid-April. So to be determined. I may have the CYN compound, or I'm going to call it the CYN cooperative, up and running. It's a school, whatever. Everyone's got one. Who cares? But what mine would be is, uniquely mine. And just like anything I've done in life, I want to make it my own and give what I know to others and let them take what I've given them and make it their own, because only through collaboration can we create.
I respect that.
Really, nothing's original. People get mad about like ideas being stolen or promo move. Everything, this guy stole it from me, or they stole this. They shut up. Okay. Like everybody's stolen something from somebody. Everybody has been inspired by something. True art and true creative is collaborating on certain things, whether you know it and choose to, or whether you don't and someone's taken from you. If someone's taken from you, just take something from them and make it better, or create something new if you're that good.
Or take it as a compliment.
It's hard to take it as a compliment sometimes, which is a great saying, and you're right. But sometimes when it's taken and then put on a mass stage, watered down, diluted, and shitty, I don't know, like Raw Underground, perhaps one would say, a great idea and concept in theory was turned into complete and utter dog shit and thrown away, and means nothing to that, because that will move on and that will go on. Whereas what you've built, okay, how do I pick up the pieces? That's the hard part. But yeah, it is a compliment in a sense that this is something original and unique that you took and made terrible, just like you do with everything. So onward and upward.
All right. In going in that direction, you spoke about constantly evolving. So is there a direction you see yourself, your identity going next? I mean,
I have a final form. I do have a final form I'd like to create in everything I've done, and toward, take this one to the end. And I've been the top 1%. I've been Chicks in America. I've been, the essential character. I've been a world champion, and I've been a huge jabroni. So like I've been everything. What is that final form? And like I'm kind of teasing it with NWA, and it's just the overman, because I'm over, man. But if you read philosophy and Nietzsche and the story of the Ubermensch and how that's influenced so many different like heroes of fiction and things of that nature, I'm directly stealing from him and making it my own within wrestling. So that is the final form I want to achieve. I don't think I can achieve that until my pec is fully healed and my third world championship is around my waist and my tattoos are complete and my art is solidified. But there will be a moment where I ascend into hypothetically the heavens, but it's probably going to be an arena, so maybe just up into the rafters, and I become that overman that I really desperately truly want to become. That's it.
You just worked with Alex Riley, and
yeah. Gave him the best match of his life. What did he do? He tuck-tailed and run. I couldn't be more mad. Kylie, I couldn't be more mad. Put myself on the line, giving him an opportunity. And then what did he ran? He ran away. Why? Because he can't take the heat, the criticism, because he fell out of a ring? Well, guess what? Don't jump. Here's the thing about everybody. First off, I don't botch. I am not a botcher. I have never botched in my life. If somebody's jumping out of a wrestling ring at me, I'm moving every time. I am not catching people. I am not standing there like an idiot and letting somebody fall down on me. I'm not letting gravity do its job while I stand there aloof and just confused. I'm not going, oh no, I'm not turning it. No, I will not catch a dive ever, because you can't dive on me because I can move. I have two eyes. So, okay, he was this big idea. He finally comes out of his shell, pops that top off. He's feeling adrenaline. I get it. You want to make an impact. You want to, make a moment. You made a moment and you fell flat on your face. It's the best possible moment you could have made, because only through that failure and that defeat and that regret could people, which this really happened with people in the audience, they felt for you. They know what you wanted to do. They know what you tried to do. What you tried to do was something you weren't quite capable of, but you do have the potential to do. So why don't you do it? You don't, because you're scared and you run away. So yeah, don't jump on me. Listen, because I will move and then I'll roll your ass in the ring and I'll beat you with my finish every time. So Scion, if he's watching with his little mask, if Austin Idles, I don't think he knows what computers are. Don't jump on me, because I'm going to move. You know what? In fact, jump on me. I dare you. I dare you to jump on me.
I guess I touched the nerve. I was going for a little bit more of a lighter approach.
Why?
I was going to ask you, is there anybody else from the NXT competition show that you would maybe want to bring back and work with?
Yeah.
You requested Alex Riley, so
I believed in him. I still do, as a human, of what he could have been. And the hard thing about this industry is if you're not prepared for the bad, you're going to find yourself lost. And what I do love is a comeback story and a tale of redemption, and people in reality within professional wrestling fighting from underneath, fighting all the bad things that have happened and making amends and, having satisfaction and fulfillment. So the door's still open. If you can find it, if he's not too busy holding his head from falling on the face. From the other NXT days, I would love to dust off Percy Watson. Dude, what an athlete, what a talent, what a character he could have been. But another guy that was too charismatic, too bold for his own good, where when he got confined to the narrow-minded views of a creative team who's like, doesn't understand when people react to something, you run with it, as opposed to when people react to something, you don't say, no, you can't do that anymore. It's baffling. A full-fledged, in shape, full tilt Percy Watson would have been the next Rock, if you ask me. Can I dust him off and get, a half-assed Dwayne out of him? Probably. I can do that with just about anybody. Seeing Vince McMahon's mustache makes me really want to see Eli Cottonwood come back just for a day, because I would just want to hear him say mustache. Who else, man?
All right. How about, that was season 2. How about Betamax?
Betamax, I have no problem courting Maxine, Katrina, Carly. None at all. We're probably meant to be together. Anyways, yeah. But as far as that, I think, nah, yeah, well, no, that's it. Who else? I mean, Dango. What a hunk. Love him. Love to dust off with him and just do it one more time. One more time for the boys. Yeah. Anybody else we can think of?
Uh, my
Lucky
my
Kid? No. No.
my two picks were going to be Percy and Maxine. So
And maybe they both will be at my wedding and I'll marry one of them and the other one could be the minister because Percy's qualified to do that.
all right. All right. So this was the fun part of nostalgia. Sorry, I didn't mean to push you into it too far, but
You didn't?
okay.
No, this is actually the first forum I've had to discuss that. I just like, I don't care what people say. And it's really hard. People often say, especially when you're in kind of a limelight, oh, I don't care what people say. Everyone cares. Everyone cares.
Hmm.
Even me. But I don't care. But when I do care, it's like when you say I botched a dive, like, no, I didn't. I was never going to stand there and let that guy fall on me. Whether he cleared that rope or not, I was moving the entire time. So you don't know. And if you think I botched it, guess what? I worked you because I'm a professional.
All right. NWA 312, April 7th. You'll get your shot at Scion, and Austin Idol will be there. I don't know if he's going to be able to watch this because you said he doesn't really know how to use a computer. So,
I don't even know if he knows where he's at half the time.
so we'll get a chance to see you doing that. Anywhere else we can see you coming up? You want to plug before I close this out?
After 312, we're going to be doing TV in Chicago. And then I believe we have a Crockett Cup on the horizon at the end of May. I don't think we've announced the exact location or dates of that, but that'll be cool. Find somebody to tag with. I don't hate the idea of having a trophy, adding a trophy to my collection. Oh, Mr. Gilmore, what a tremendous looking trophy. That's all I can think about. What else do we have? OVW, also on Fight TV. I'm doing a lot of good work with them, and I think they're on the precipice of like building an actual territory. So if we want to talk about nostalgia, what has worked in the past, territories worked, and they worked for a reason. And what I like about OVW especially is the people that come to those shows are in on it. Like they're as much a part of the shows as a talent is because this is local and this is home to them. So it's cool. And then when they really hate me, which they do, that's even better. We're going to be doing that. Look for me announcing, the possibility of me opening something. If you're an aspiring independent wrestler, I'd really love to recondition you and make you 10 times better than you ever thought you could be. But at the same time, it's going to be an investment of time and money on yourself. Are you willing to take it? I don't know. I was, and I did pretty good. So maybe you will be too. Maybe you won't. And that's okay. What else? That's it. Follow me at the real EC3. Haven't tweeted in 6 months. Barely post on Instagram. I'm too busy. Social media is a full-time job. I should do it better.
You have a good excuse. I would quit if I could.
Work. Join.freec3.com. Use promo code CYN for 20% off, but I do custom training and nutrition for you, the civilian person. And I'm really proud of something. That's something I took my time in the pandemic and built with my bare hands. And by bare hands, I meant computer programmers in a different country, but I still built it. So training, nutrition, things like that is very geared towards you and your lifestyle. It's not like complete psychotic nonsense that I do. So I'm proud of that.
No psycho boy stuff.
Yeah, a little bit.